So, one last event to come at the climax of day 7. It's the men's 200-metre final. Sammy Brown, representing Japan, only 18 years of age, the biggest moment of his life. Good to see him smiling. Shireen Richards looked supreme in qualification. Massive PB this season. Could he produce an upset? Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake. What a reception he'll now receive. He's asking the crowd for more. Doesn't need to. They're already with him. Amir Webb, US champion. 26 years of age. He won the Diamond League here in London. Will the track prove lucky for him again? Ramil Guliyev. No Turk has ever won a world title. Is he the unscripted hero of this 200 metres? Isaiah Young, the other American, looked really sharp in qualification. Is a lightning quick starter. Can he get out fast and hang on? What a popular figure. Didn't take his place in the final of the 4. He's here in the 2. What a story it would be for Makwala. Van Niekerk, the new poster boy of world athletics, seeking what would be the first world championship 400-200 double since the mercurial Michael Johnson back in Gothenburg in '95. This is the first global men's 200-metre final without Usain Bolt since Athens 2004. It's a changing of the guard. Which one of these men will be brave enough and bold enough to step into those huge, huge shoes? Well, Catherine, Van Niekirk only qualified for this final as a fastest loser. Do you read anything into that, or was it cold last night? And can we expect a lightning quick time from him?
It was cold for everybody last night. He looked a little bit tired for me, Wade Van Niekerk. Understandable. That 200 and 400-metre double that Shawnee Miller-Uibo and himself and Makwala were aiming to do is a tough ask, but this is Wade Van Niekerk. He is one of the greatest sprinters we've ever had. Let's not forget how fast he can run at 100, sub 10, 200, sub 20, and of course under 44 for the 400 metres. Lane 3, decent lane. I really don't know, Rob. We're going to see. That's why this is such an exciting final, isn't it, Steve? Because we know he can, but he didn't look pin sharp for me in that semi-final.
Exactly, you've just hit it on the head. If he'd have run really well in that semi, we'd have probably have no doubt that he was going to be the man tonight. But he wasn't actually, I don't know, in full swing. Whether it was the cold, the rain, or whatever, we don't know. But obviously, warmer night tonight, a shade warmer, I should say. It's not warm, but a better night. But he has got the lights, I think, of Doreen Richards, I think, who looked even better in qualifying. So let's just wait and see. It's not a cut and dry case for anybody in this final, but, you know, I suppose if you're going to say anybody is a favourite, Van Niekirk.
What a story this would be for Isaac Makwala. Came through his quarantine period, only qualified for this final in the lashing rain on his own out in lane 7. Had to beat 20.53, ran 20.2 on the nose, looked really good, and then came through the semi from that really awkward lane 1. Are the gods aligning for the Botswanan, who has been on the global stage for 10 years now, but is still yet to win his first global individual medal? Hard to believe from someone so talented. The final of the men's 200 metres. Van Niekerk going for the double in 3. Makwala in 6, the fastest man in the world this year. Can Guliev produce Turkey's first ever World Championship gold medal, or will Shireen Richards, the fast finishing Trinidadian in 7, cause all the others problems? Such an intriguing final, this one. Let's take you through it. Amir Webb, US champion, semi-finalist last year in Rio. He's gone one better. Can he get out quickly and hang on for a big medal? Abdul Hakim Sammy Brown, world youth champion 2 years ago. He's still only 18. He's done brilliantly to get in this final. What a massive talent for the future. Shireen Richards, big PB this year. He's the national champion. He finishes fast, a little bit reminiscent of you-know-who I'm sure will be watching. The whole island will be behind him. Makwala has really got the public on his side. This is his chance, finally, after 10 years in global athletics, to become a world medalist. Ramil Guliyev. No one's been talking about the man from Turkey, but he is lightning quick. He's in great shape. Could he steal the thunder of everyone around him? Isaiah Young, semi-finalist here in London 5 years ago. 19.86 is PB. Van Niekerk stormed to his world title defence in the 400. Looks nervous. Only came through as the fastest loser. He's going to have work to do in 3. And what a moment for Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake, European junior champion a few years ago. Without doubt, this is the biggest race of his life, and he's got the home crowd roaring him on. Mitchell-Blake in 2, Van Niekerk 3, Young in 4, Guliev 5, Makwala 6, Richards 7, Sammy Brown 8, Webb 9. You can sense the tension here in the Olympic Stadium. It is absolutely packed. This is the first big final without Usain Bolt. One of these 8 men is around 20 seconds away from a piece of sporting history. A new generation of global sprinters are about to announce their arrival on the biggest stage of all. Cleanly away in this huge final. What an opportunity. Sammy Brown is trying to close down on Webb outside him. Makwala coming through here with Guliev on his inside. And now Van Niekerk trying to come through. It's really tight. Richards coming. Guliev and Van Niekerk. It's so close. Guliev is very tight. I think Guliev might well have just done it. And if he has upset the form book as he hoped he would. He may well have delivered the first gold medal in World Championship history for Turkey. 20.09, and he has. Van Niekerk thought he was going to win on the far side. Richards was coming back into the hunt for the medals as well. And Guliev is the first man to follow Usain Bolt on top of the podium. Van Niekerk came through on the near side, but he was to be denied by the man from Turkey who becomes the toast of his nation. Van Niekerk has been given second place in exactly the same time as Richards. So by 200ths of a second, the great South African doesn't follow Michael Johnson's double. It's a brilliant performance for the silver, but Guliev somehow held his nerve as they all closed around him.
It was a great race by Guliev. He first reached this final as a junior in Berlin in 2009 when Usain Bolt set the world record, and now in 2017 is the world champion. Well, he kept his cool. We're going to see on the replays Van Niekerk. He was trying, he was straining, he was pushing, but the man in the centre lane removed his glasses, as Steve Ovett noticed, for the final, and all he had was eyes on the prize, Steve. It's wonderful running, slap bang in a centre lane, and pulled it out the bag as all those, as Rob said, around him came crashing around him, trying to steal that gold away.
Well, Van Niekerk was in the lead. He's the 400-metre specialist. He's got the strength in his legs, but in the end, you just saw Guliev on the line, came past him in the last stride to snatch that medal. You can't time it any better than that, but he was strong. He came through. Van Niekerk did everything he had to do, better than his semi-final, much better, but it wasn't good enough in the end.
He started well, he ran a good bend, but you know what was nice to see, guys? the shot on Van Niekerk afterwards, when it was confirmed he had got a silver medal, he was absolutely delighted. He's medalled in the 2 events. It wasn't the double that he wanted, but that's a nice shot, and that's a nice handshake there between the silver medalist and the gold medalist as well. What another great race at the end of another super session.
What a tight race. Van Niekerk taking silver rather than bronze by a 1,000th of a second. I thought Van Niekerk looked tight and nervous before that race, Catherine. I think that's why he's so delighted that he's got the silver. But as he came off the bend, Makwala began to fade, and this was the point at which you thought Van Niekerk was going to somehow manage to do this double. Guliyev hanging on to him just, Richards coming through quickly. What a tight finish. And Guliyev gets there by the dip on the line. And what an important moment for Turkish athletics, their first ever world title.
Well, he's speaking to the crowd, and I think he's saying how obviously delighted that he was. But as you say, Rob, on that shot there, you expected Van Niekerk to pull away with his quarter-mile strength. But look at Richards on this shot as well, passing Makwala. Mitchell Blake, the British guy, finished in 4th on the inside. But he looked a bit tight, didn't he, Van Niekerk? He was holding on. And in contrast, look at Guliyev, cool as you like.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm watching Van Niekerk there. His actual cadence isn't as fast as the other sprinters. He's a 400-meter runner, but you can see Guliyev, shorter stride, very fast, and in the end, maybe that cadence in the end just got him a little bit of extra speed over the last 20 meters or so.
And you know, the other thing we've once again learnt here, Isaac Makwala coming into this race as the fastest man in the world this year, and once again disappointment for the hugely likeable, charismatic man from Botswana. His hunt for a first global medal still goes on. He's been performing at the World Championship since 2007, and once again he's out of the medals, down in 6th. Ran a good bend but faded badly as the others came sweeping past him in the battle to follow Bolt as a global champion.
Van Niekerk, he's not going to regret going for the double. You know, he picked up the gold in his favoured event of 400, nearly got it in the 200. Guliyev, this is the only event he contested. He's put everything into this, and that's understandable, and it's paid off for the Turkish athlete. And he knew he had it as a sprinter. That's enough daylight. 2/100ths of a second. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but you just kind of know. Whereas the silver and bronze medalists just had to wait a little bit longer. But Guliyev, no doubt in his mind, he led it, he pulled it back. Wow, for Turkey, you're right. What an absolutely wonderful race for them.
Just superb there from Guliyev. He has been running well all season. I think he's got down to 9.97 over the 100. And as you quite rightly said there, Catherine, with form like that, you would have thought that he might have considered doubling up over the 1 and the 2, put all his eggs in that basket, and it's paid off for him. And what about Wade Van Niekerk? Yet another big medal on the big stage. 3 times a global champion over 400 meters, and now he's announced his arrival as a big contender over the half lap.
Well, South Africa are having a wonderful World Championships. And Shireen Richards as well. He's got a bright future, 23 years old. Trinidad and Tobago, just to our left for American commentary, was the man that won it for Trinidad and Tobago back a few years ago, Atto Bolden, in 1997. He'll be delighted for his countrymen picking up a medal. But Guliyev, well, a couple of medals now, Turkey, equal 7th on the medal table. And that man's going to have a hero's reception, isn't he? He's going to return as the world champion over the 200 meters. Oh, that's nice. Silver medalist to a silver medalist. Van Niekerk congratulating Will Clay on another major championship medal for him in the triple jump.
Yeah, it's actually amazing considering what a great week the Americans are having that they didn't get on the podium there. Mitchell Blake 4th and Amir Webb in 5th.
it's another race on another night of world-class athletics, Steve, where we've said we don't know who's going to win, and the unpredictable world championships continue, which makes it wonderfully, wonderfully exciting.
It certainly does. I mean, we're supposed to know what's going on down there, but really we don't, do we? Let's face it. I mean, Guliyev really... I mean, funny enough you should say that, though. The Mark Butler, that supplies our statistics for us, did say that this could be the Turkish victory that they've always been wanting, and he actually produced the goods. And we should really rely, shouldn't we, on someone who knows what they're talking about.
Ramil Guliyev is in dreamland. Silver this time for Wade van Niekerk, and by 1,000th of a second, Shireen Richards getting himself on the podium for bronze.